about this one?
No, I want the other one. Him, Major Chip Hazard, he's the one.
How much are these?
A lot.
There's no way Mom and Dad are gonna buy you one of these.
Yes, they will. They buy you those stupid Wendy dolls.
All right, Timmy.
Small Soldiers, coming up next. Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevene. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time, and today, that is our friend who is joining us on the podcast, Mr. Connor Dowling. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here.
Good evening, man.
For a guy with an encyclopedic knowledge of 90s film, it's a
90s
little
action
surprised-
films, especially.
Yeah, this one just over your head.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, never seen Small Soldiers, and it's shocking because you were right in the generation for it, I feel like, or maybe a little bit before.
I was aged out of it, man. It was came out my sophomore year in high school. So this was like, my younger brother went to a birthday party and this was the movie they all went to see. So instantly I was like, yeah, it's a kid's movie, and never really thought twice about it again. Yeah.
So, because I remember you showed us
Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, that one's dope.
Yeah,
That's with
And-
Sean Astin.
that movie always gets confused with this movie. So
Yeah.
if you're here for the Sean Astin movie, we're sorry. We're not covering that tonight. We haven't seen that in like 5 years in Dowling's basement.
That one's great.
Yeah.
A bunch of terrorists take over the school.
It's
Oh,
Die Hard, but in a boarding school.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And it's
And
perfect.
this one was like, what if we parody every famous war movie ever with Toy
Yeah.
Soldiers?
Yeah, it was great.
Fantastic.
Great. I love the war parts. That's what I meant.
Yeah, like I haven't seen this since I was a kid, and like obviously when I was a kid, like all of the references were just over my head completely. Like obviously I wasn't gonna get I love the smell of
Got it.
What is it? Neospore? Not
Napalm, baby.
And
No,
that's
that's
like
the
he-
original, but I love the smell of polyurethane in the morning. Is
Yes.
what-
Yeah.
Um,
And like the patent joke
Oh,
where he
yeah,
just like
that
walks
one-
out from the flag.
Oh, that was amazing.
oh, that was
And the
I
line.
was not expecting that one. I was just like, and they're like quoting Patton too. I was like,
Oh, well,
'Cause I
the,
just watched
the original lines, and it's an all-timer. It's like, no dumb bastard ever won a war by dying for his country.
yeah, I
You
just
got to
watched-
get the other dumb bastard to die for his country.
I just watched Patton for the first time. I mean, fantastic film.
Oh, all-timer.
All-timer. I know Tommy. 3 hour war epic from the 70s is
Oh
like,
no, I can like dig with Patton. Patton's more my speed.
George C. Scott's amazing. That open
it's
shot
incredible.
in front of the flag gives you goosebumps.
all-timer. All-timer.
Yes.
But we will save the Patton discussion for another time.
Sorry.
So, fellas, before we dive into Small Soldiers, are there any films that you guys watched recently in the past weeks that you have not discussed that you would like to talk about here?
All right, so I'll start with a completely stupid movie I rewatched over the weekend. I had a bunch of friends over from high school come up for the weekend. We watched The Beekeeper, Jason Statham movie from last year. First time I've seen this movie since theaters, and it holds up. This is like the perfect like sleepover dumb fucking action movie where like there's a perfect drinking game for this movie. All you have to do is take a drink every time someone says bee or beekeeper, and you'll be fucking wasted. You'll be fucking wasted. You'll be having a good time. It's just like amazing where it's just like Jason Statham comes into a room, beats the shit out of fucking people, and then like they say, "Who are you?" He's like, I'm the beekeeper. I'm here to protect the hive. It's so dumb. It's amazing. It's what everything I need in a movie, especially like late at night with your friends. You're like, all right, I guess I'm getting drunk as fuck. Beekeeper it is.
Yeah, Felicia Rashad rips your freaking heart out in the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie. You went like, "Oh, sorry, I bankrupted the entire foundation because I fell for a scammer." Come on.
It's a common thing for elderly people, and the beekeeper's here to help them.
I'm very surprised, Dowling, that you saw The Beekeeper.
I fell asleep about halfway through.
That's not surprising.
It's exactly that type of movie too. It's the type of movie that Dad puts on like on the couch at like 8 o'clock
Yeah.
at night, and then he immediately is like dead.
100%. I was on vacation and it was storming. We were down in Florida. It was hot. I went with my father-in-law. I was like, these chairs are comfortable as shit. It's dark and quiet relatively, and the chairs go back. I didn't have a prayer.
I'm not gonna lie, inside a little inside baseball here. Dowling and Tommy are actually recording together in the same room. And when they
Field
texted
trip.
me that they were starting the movie, I was like, there's it's not a 0% chance that
Nah.
we end up not recording this episode because one of the two of them completely falls asleep during it. It's like I missed half this movie.
Not even that. Not even that. One of us is like incoherent, like rambling.
No, no, no. I would fall asleep, but I've been better. I got a CPAP machine.
That helps. That will
Welcome
help.
to your 40s.
Yeah, no, serious. Works like a charm.
Welcome to your 40s. Here's a CPAP machine.
Yeah, no,
And you're watching Small Soldiers.
well, I do it for the love of World War II. I agree with Phil Hartman. World War II is my favorite movie.
Same. I that line spoke out to me as well.
Yeah,
I
It's
think World
it
War
was
incredible.
amazing.
II
And the best part is his wife just being like, yeah.
that's great because that's every wife's reaction to any
Oh,
that's
I
like their
can tell
favorite
you from
wars.
experience, man. Been
Oh,
married 18 years.
can tell you also from experience. I talk about wars and it's just like, oh, okay.
Immediately.
Are you done? I'm waiting for you to be done. Can you please close your mouth?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
and I keep going. This is what I like.
Alec, any movie you saw
Well,
the first
I
time?
did a little documentary banging around this week. I went through one of my favorite all-time collection of docs, the ESPN 30 for 30 series,
Mm,
and there is a four-parter on the immortal Bill Walton. And if
mm.
you haven't seen it, it
I
is
haven't
worth a watch.
I haven't seen the Bill Walton one yet.
Oh, it's really cool. It is incredibly in depth. They have a lot of old clips and stuff. You see him sitting there with John Wooden.
He's kind of like a forgotten MVP.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Bill Walton is the answer to the trivia question. Who's the only person to win MVP and Six Man Award?
Yeah. It's
He,
insane. He had such a career and then he's like a great broadcaster.
Well,
oh yeah.
he just all-time deadhead too, but
Well,
he's
he
a
was
guy that
crowned biggest deadhead. You
yeah,
buy they he used to travel with him.
77 was the only season that he was ever actually able to stay healthy. Like the guy would
Yeah.
have been an all-time legend if he could if his bones weren't brittle.
And there is really only two people in the argument, and it's insane that someone's in the argument with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But it's Bill Walton and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's the best college basketball player of all time. And it's really hard to argue when you have someone like, in the Bill Walton goes, I think, 11 for 12 in the finals and 10 for 10 from the line and had like 44 points or something insane. Might have been 40. Like in the NCAA finals, the dude just didn't lose. He was incredible.
Mm.
He ran
I
like a point guard.
it's it's tough for me to argue against it, but another hat I'm gonna throw into the ring.
Pistol.
No,
Oh,
Jalen Brunson, all-time college player, all-time college player. But this is not
Easily.
a basketball.
Yeah, this is our basketball
oh,
takes.
oh,
Jalen Brunson, the guy in the Knicks, you don't know?
Two
He's like,
titles,
not about modern basketball.
two
no.
titles with Villanova in like
Okay.
in the one and done era.
I remember. I remember. That's
Two,
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
two titles and like huge factor in all championship games. I
Yeah,
don't have that's in front of me. So
it's really hard to touch the like top four. You got like Kareem,
Like Chris Webber, probably.
Bill. You got to throw Pistol Pete up there. You got to throw Christian Leitner up there. You
you
got
got to
to
throw
throw
Leitner up
Shaquille
there.
O'Neal up there.
I
Yeah.
can only talk about the guys that I can only really I don't follow basketball enough, but I can only really touch on the guys that I actually watched play, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just where it's hard for me because I can go, yeah, these are all-time greats, of course, but
Yeah.
I can just
Totally.
It's where I haven't seen it, not haven't dribble it.
Yeah. I concur.
Uh, went to the theaters and I saw Freakier Friday
Ah, yes.
Nice.
with Lindsay Lohan. Got a I'm happy for her. She's healthy.
Me
Uh,
too.
she's
She's out
looking
of the tabloids.
she's
She had a
looking
rough
good.
go there for a
Yeah,
while.
well, her parents were a piece of work for those who are not in the
Yes.
know with Lindsay Lohan, but they were not good people. We'll just leave it kindly there. It's fun. Like if I feel like I remember going and seeing the original Freaky Friday. I enjoyed it when I was 10. I haven't watched it in 20 some odd years at this point.
Mm.
Um, Going back, it was fun. Like it was a better legacy sequel than Happy Gilmore 2. Like it had more effort put into it.
That's
Um,
shocking.
Happy Gilmore 2 is stupid, but I really liked
yeah,
it.
this kind of falls into that category where it's like, if you like the original Freaky Friday, you're probably going to like Freaky
Well, you
Friday.
know, there's an original original one. That's the
Yeah,
one
well,
I grew up with.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was Jodie Foster when she was young.
yeah.
That I don't remember the mom, but that one was good too
yeah,
back in
well,
the day.
Lindsay Lohan seems to do that because there was also like the 1960s Parent Trap, and then they
Oh,
remade
that's my
it.
favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, Lindsay Lohan's career is like built off that. And remember, she was in Herbie Fully Loaded.
Yeah, another Disney oldie.
Yeah,
And Mean Girls, her best work, without
yeah.
a
Oh, by
Well, I
far.
didn't realize until recently Mean Girls is directed by the same guy who directed Freaky Friday, the Lindsay Lohan one. So,
Oh, interesting.
um, yeah, it was. But it looks okay. I mean, I don't know. I'll catch it eventually on streaming. I don't think
Well,
it's a priority for me.
Uh,
listen, all I will say is Jamie Lee Curtis put the world on notice.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
In her late 60s, throwing haymakers out there.
Who would have
Probably
thought?
my girlfriend leaned over to me during the movie and was like, Am I looking at Jamie Lee Curtis correctly?" I was like, "No, you are.
That's Jamie Lee
You
Curtis.
definitely are looking at her correctly because wow, they
Yeah.
were not concealed. We'll put it that way. Uh, which I guess is
Going forward.
which is a little surprising for a Disney.
They put on the press tour like, all right, Jamie, sell some tickets.
Yeah, actually,
I mean,
not sure
she's
if we're gonna
been,
make expectations, Amy. You got to do it.
I
You gotta
mean,
go trading
you
place.
know,
You gotta go trading places.
Yeah.
she took about a decade or two off, but I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis has been known for her bod for quite some time now. The 80s.
What's the movie with her and Travolta?
Um,
Perfect.
The one where they're like in the yoga
Perfect.
studio? Perfect.
Yeah. And it's all about like, yo, aerobic studios are the new bathhouses of the of the 80s. It's like new bars. No.
Timmy,
Come down and get in shape.
I
why aren't we
like that
covering
this
this movie?
I like that this trend just like that newspaper article pops up at the beginning of every new decade is like this new place is the new bars. This new
Yes.
place and then
Yes.
all bars stay forever, but these places all close down.
Yeah. You sick of the bar? Come fucking jazzercise.
This sounds like something we need to cover.
It's not a good movie, but
I just saw that
Jamie
one
Lee
scene of
Curtis is
Jamie Lee and
quite
John
good looking.
Travolta
Oh
like
yeah.
gyrating at each other, just like dancing. They're
Well, I
like,
mean, you're the daughter of Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis. You know, she's been looking quite good for some time. What now? Let me tell you, she took some time off there. Like, but True Lies, come on.
it feels like she like been catapulted back to the A-list once like the new Halloween came out.
Well,
Well,
it was that and then she won the Oscar
Well,
for
yeah, obviously that, but yeah, but like it was like the build up from like she came back of the Halloween movie that was successful from like 8 years ago.
you know what she did recently that was incredible? If you haven't seen The Bear, it's a pretty
Oh
good
yeah.
show. You
Yeah,
know,
a little show you might not have heard of called The Bear.
yeah, no, it's
That show
pretty
that
goddamn.
everyone tells you to watch and then you have a panic attack.
No, well, it's one of those shows that like you have to be okay with like anxiety. It's an anxiety-inducing show.
But it's a comedy, right?
Yeah, I love it.
It's a
It's
dark
like a
comedy, but
dramedy.
it's a drama. Yeah, well, it's a drama, but a comedy in the way that like The Sopranos and Mad Men is a comedy.
Yeah,
Those shows are
yeah. There's
like
funny parts in it.
well written dramas are inherently funny.
Exactly. So she plays the matriarch of the family, and she turned in, it was like the Christmas episode.
Yeah,
She turned in a performance that
the
was
seven
out of this
fifty.
world.
Mm.
Yeah, great episode. My take on The Bear is those first two. It suffers the same syndrome as House of Cards, where those first two seasons are really, really good, and then they're finally accomplished what they set out from like the initial set to get to.
And there's some loss.
And then it's just like, well, now what do we do? And
Yeah,
it just kind of hit that juncture
I
where
get you.
like it's still like well written, but like the drama that was there and the suspense that was there from those first two seasons is just missing.
Well, it's the thing with TV. It's just like there's too much commitment for me. For me to commit to any TV show. That's where I'm at this point. Where I'm like,
You
there's
can't
eight.
even get Tommy to watch a 3 hour movie.
Well, no, like a TV show.
I literally have to just be like, all right, we're covering this on the podcast. Like you made
I'm like, all right, I guess I'm diving
you
in.
made me do X horror movie. We're covering Barry
Yeah.
Lyndon, and you don't have a choice in the
Well,
matter.
sometimes there's like a 3 hour movie that I want to watch. Like I bought Jackie Brown recently. I've been trying to watch it, but I always realize on a weekday that I'm like, it's like 8 o'clock. It's gonna be like 11 o'clock by the time I'm done with this movie, maybe later.
Yeah. Timmy, you're gonna have to watch fucking Hellraiser 1 through 7 to get him to see Citizen Kane.
It's not that long. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah, I'll see it. I'll see it.
Yeah, it's only considered by like
Besides, Hellraiser sucks. I'm not a Hellraiser guy.
it's not it's only considered to be like one of the greatest films of all time by
No, I'll
literally
see Citizen Kane. I'll definitely see it. I'm done to see it.
I'm down to watch it, but you're gonna have to force me to watch it because there's under no other circumstances will I watch Citizen Kane. But we are covering a Tommy classic here today. Like I
Yeah, this
think
is a Tommy staple.
this is a Tommy staple.
This is a
Like
Tommy childhood staple.
I remember Tommy with bangs and like the glasses running around talking about small soldiers like 7 years after it came out. Okay, like this is a Tommy.
This is like 2003. Like everyone else like moved on now. So like, hey guys, remember Small Soldiers?
I swear they're gonna make a sequel one day.
I was like a little rat. I was like, oh my God. Archer. Do you want to see my Archer figure?
Want to see my Archer figure? Yeah.
David Cross in this movie gave off a lot of Tommy vibes.
You can just tell where he picked up his personality was right from
100%.
Yeah.
Small Soldiers. But this is Small Soldiers.
The world's biggest defense contractor is about to introduce their newest product.
Commandos, attack!
Big action.
Talking about toys that are so smart, when kids play with them, they play back.
Big trouble.
Put munitions, chips, and toys?
Medic. Big movie.
We are the Commando Elite. Everything else is just a toy.
Small Soldiers. This film is not yet rated. Starts Friday, July 10th.
I'm pretty messed up, sir.
I like how it's a TV spot and it's like this film is not yet rated with like a release date. I'm like, oh, okay.
What's really funny is that this movie had a Burger King tie-in. I remember that's one of the reasons why like I love this movie because I remember the game, the Burger King toys. Like that's one thing I distinctly remember.
No, explains so much.
But I remember so they had a Burger King tie-in toy and it was gonna be like a PG movie. That's what they thought. So Burger King was like, okay. And then once it became PG-13, Burger King was like, oh shit, what do we get ourselves into? Are we promoting like an adult movie?
Tommy's heart can be bought for a fucking Whopper.
Whopper Jr. in those days.
Well, I think my origin story of this movie is like my family and I went to like Universal Studios and Disney around 97 or 98, like when this movie was coming out. And there was like a big promotion at Universal Studios about this movie, like a whole like exhibit where you go in and like find out about the Commando Elite and Archer. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be awesome, Dad. So I'm pretty sure I saw this in movies. I had the VHS tape. I wore out the VHS tape, I'm sure. And this is probably like my 100th time seeing this movie. I love this.
Well, it's an American action comedy film from 1998, directed by Joe Dante. It stars Kirsten Dunst and Gregory Smith, along with the voices of Frank Langella and Tommy Lee Jones. It depicts two toy factions of which develop independent personalities after mistakenly being installed with advanced military-level technology, in turn putting two families in danger when one faction turns lethal. It also stars Jay Moore, Phil Hartman in his final film role, Kevin Dunn, David Cross, Dennis Leary. Really fun cast. It's one of those movies I definitely saw it in like the 98, 99. It probably was like I got it from like picked it up at Blockbuster or something like that. VHS copy. Really, really fun movie.
A little hesitant.
No, there's no hesitance on that. Like, I feel like so Joe, I wanted to touch on this with Joe Dante, obviously famous for Gremlins, Gremlins 2, The Last Batch, and I feel like he's become the director whenever there's like any kind of animatronics, like kind of puppet sci-fi element to it. They're just like, here you go, Joe Dante. Like, here you go. What can you do with this? Please
Yeah.
make this into gold. Please make this in us a lot of money off of this. Because it kind of like follows that staple of Gremlins, right? Like
100%.
In a way, this is kind of like Joe Dante, like almost remaking Gremlins in a way.
it is. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely had that thought when they were like the way the movie starts with David Cross and it's Kevin Dunn, right? He's the other
No,
guy.
that's Jay Moore. Jay Moore's his friend. Kevin Dunn's
Jay
the
Moore.
dad.
Okay, there's like I so Larry and Irwin. David Cross was the only one I like truly recognized out of those bunch. And then
Yeah.
Kevin Dunn was like is like a oh I've seen you in a million he's a that
Hey,
guy.
Don asked me who Kevin Dunn is. I was like, he's around.
Yeah.
You've seen him.
And it's
You've seen him.
and I
He's a
love
guy.
Jay Moore. He's hysterical.
I was
Bob Sugar Baby.
I
This is
was I was
him and Jerry
watching
Maguire.
I was watching that and I was just like oh he's been in everything.
Yeah.
But we you know with them developing the soldiers right and Dennis Leary as Gil Mars coming in.
Incredible.
Oh, what a heat check performance, huh? Just like
Uh,
What's so funny about Dennis Leary, especially in the 90s, is that he would just pop up in your movie for a scene or two and essentially just like do his stand-up material. Like this movie especially was just him just like walking in and be like, I hate the toys that like they tell you that they're gonna do their thing that like women think that they're gonna get their hair clean, like Betty Page or something, whatever the fuck it was.
Love it.
And he's just like riffing for like a few minutes and just like essentially just like here's Dan Leary to do his stand-up set. Kind of like how Chris Rock had that in some movies, especially the Chris Rock Saw movie, where he just started doing bits in the middle of it where he's like investigating murders, where he's like, I'm Chris Rock and I'm gonna do his little stand-up routine.
that's why you're here. You're here
And I
to
love how Dennis Leary bits are all like, I'm always slightly pissed at something,
Yeah.
and like, how well can I hold it back while like half complaining? James Woods used to do that too.
Oh, I was literally about to say, I was like, what is it about Dennis Leary and like why hasn't he had like that late stage James Woods career?
Yeah,
Well, what's the late stage James Woods career? Because at this point he's like not doing anything.
yeah,
Well,
he's
I
around.
meant
He
like
was
that
Hades in Hercules, but that was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
exactly. What's the modern day James Woods? I mean, Dennis Leary had that show forever. Like Rescue Me, that's on for fucking
yes,
Yeah.
FX. But like I feel like he's a guy that should just be showing up in things. Like he
He should
should
be another character actor. He had that brief moment in like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, but like
but
that's
he
it.
like well, from what I haven't seen that since that thing came out. But
He was like Emma Stone's father.
yeah, but he just plays like a stern dad, and it's just like
Yeah.
yeah, he's just a guy, and like I don't ever need
Well, it's
Dennis.
like
I
he
don't
was
ever
on such a
need.
90s heat check where like there are movies literally like Judgment Night is a great action movie where it's just like they get hunted down by Dennis Leary and Dennis Leary the whole time is like, hey, giving like yuppie stand-up material while he's chasing them down.
Yeah,
Shit
like
like that.
Can I
he's
be
like
an
a
old person right now?
Yeah.
What does heat check mean?
Heat check is like there's a player in basketball, like Deion Waiters, for example, or I'm trying to think like J.R. Smith, like type like that, where basically
I don't know.
they'll check in, and then they'll just score like 5 points right immediately off the bench,
Oh, so it's an amazing,
like
just
a
like
hot flash.
like Ben Affleck in Boiler Room.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
come in, murder, leave. Alec
Alec
Baldwin.
Baldwin, Glengarry Glen Ross is the
Okay,
epitome of a
understood.
yeah,
Sorry, I never knew what that
yeah.
meant.
yeah. He just complete like
But yes,
like
perfect heat check by Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary like steals every scene that he's in without even question. Like
Yeah,
100%.
we fast
especially at the end of
forward.
the movie when he's just giving everyone like there's the recurring bit of like people like, I don't know if you got enough money. Oh, you do have enough money.
Oh, and that will cover it. But what
Yeah,
about our like we're watching the Abernathy family like their house is completely like caved in, it's completely destroyed. What the emotional trauma of this? There's no way you'll be able to. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll work. Like,
What do you think the number was? This is
millions.
97. So
Like
millions you're paying for at least probably a million flat. Like
yeah,
yeah.
you're paying for silence on the
If
matter.
you got a million, if this was 98 and we got a million flat because our house was the short. Oh, everyone would be like,
Oh,
"Yo,
and you'll pay
yo,
for my
can you? My
hotel.
neighbor wants you to do their house too.
Yeah, and if you
Like
blow up everything.
blow that one up too."
Today it'd probably have to be 5 to 10, I think, to get people to be
Oh,
sad.
that would be rich, rich.
Mm.
But I don't think we'll be getting a sequel, unfortunately, because this
No.
movie did okay at the box office,
Yeah, it didn't
71.8
set the
out of.
world on fire.
I
It
think
felt like
they definitely thought, because I just remember all the marketing and the promotional campaign of this when it came out.
there
Like,
was like a PlayStation 1 game, there's a Game Boy game, there's a PC game. I had like two of the three. There's a whole toy line. I still have the toys in my mom's basement, not
I
with me, but
really surprised. I was waiting for you to just pull out Archer,
where's my Archer?
your Archer
Well,
doll.
the thing is, my mom wants me to get the toys out of the basement pretty soon, and like I have to now debate myself: am I going to keep the small soldiers toys? It's probably going to be yes.
All right. Well, I think this movie suffered from like, back in the day, you didn't get a lot of info. The internet wasn't widely used,
Hmm.
and it was kind of that the movie didn't match what they thought it was going to be. I bet there had to be some, because it was definitely a little scarier, a little spookier than most
There's
kids'
definitely
movies.
one scene in this with where the doll
Yeah.
the Barbie dolls come to life.
Yeah, the
There's
Gwendys.
with the Gwendys that are very very horror inspired there, but I didn't think it was like anything
No,
scary.
nothing bad, but if you took like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, I could see them getting scared. And it's like, this is supposed to be a kid's movie. I could see that in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this like 3-year-old or 4-year-old saw this movie and he was like enthralled. He's like, this is amazing.
Well, you also watched South Park when you were like 2,
Yeah,
right?
3. No, I was 3 years old. So I mean, it is interesting for me because like I think back like another movie I was thinking of while watching this was Mars Attacks, which I think I told us on the pod or on our Twitter a bunch. I watched that movie when I was 8 years old, traumatized me for fucking life. And for like 2 or 3 years afterwards, I was convinced the Martians and Mars Attacks were going to come kill me. So it's shocking that like that movie was scary for me, but this one, like, I was like, oh, the Commando Elite, they're fucking awesome. I want to have my Chip Hazard toy. I distinctly remember playing with like Archer and Chip Hazard, like
Well, these are
recreating the
made
battle
up.
when I was a kid.
These are made up. Aliens are real.
I like that this episode is just going to turn into Tommy.
A Tommy origin story.
Tommy just remembers everything that he did with his small soldiers. But don't
I
tell.
was drinking a Dr. Pepper the first time I watched it and had
I
some
I
Cheetos.
discovered something called the internet while Archer was looking on.
I swore that that Chip Hazard glimmered in his eyes as he stared at me, and I stared at him, reflected in my glasses, with a
No.
nice somber look, and just
Tommy starts a romance fan fiction
yeah.
blog
We
about
just
toy
find out that's
soldiers.
what Tommy does.
But
He's a
Small soldiers.
we get
he
to
has a
small soldiers.
Wait,
Uh,
Timmy, are you frozen?
no, I'm not.
oh, there you
He
are.
has a Tumblr page with small soldiers fanfic, and like 5 people read it.
Yeah. I get my listeners. That's where our podcast money comes in. Our Patreon. If you subscribe for $5, you get all my small soldiers slash fic.
And he doesn't do any grammar edits if you're asking for it. It's barely legible.
If you're
Okay.
expecting grandma, you're subscribing to the wrong Patreon.
If you're expecting any grammar, you are subscribing to the wrong place. Excuse me.
As Archer slowly took down Chip
Listen,
Hazard,
listen, that
and
is
Chip Hazard said, "There will be no mercy."
listen, grammar is very 20th century. We just don't do that here,
This
okay?
becomes the episode we don't release because Timmy's afraid his mom's going to listen.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I was more worried about coherence in case
Oh no. No one's
if
tuned up.
anything happened when these two knuckleheads get together.
Ah, no way.
Sometimes things could happen here. So we
There's
have
probably been like 1 or 2 episodes I've been incoherent on.
the legend Stan Winston. Um, I'm gonna try to keep this on the rails here.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Stan Winston, he did the like special effects for this and like made the animatronics. And this is like a passion project for him because like he just loved working with toys so much. And he's like, oh, like me and my crew get to like play with like their old toys. He worked with Hasbro for this movie. He like talked to them to get like the right like feeling down for toys and what they'd feel like. And The special effects I think still hold up. I mean, I know it's a little different like when we were watching on 4K tonight, but like, Diane, what'd you think?
Oh, I thought it was cool. I mean, the way they were building the soldiers with the lasers looked neat, but I mean, that's basically like 3D printing today
Yeah.
when they do that top-down look. It was pretty cool. I mean,
And then in motion, like the Gorgonites and Commandos still look good in this movie.
yeah,
I thought they did a good job of blending like the practical dolls
Because yeah,
and
there were puppetry involved a little bit too.
there was a little, very, very little. Like anytime they could just be stagnant or had to move. Like I felt like Archer, the Gorgonite, they used him a lot more practically, whereas I felt like
The Commandos were definitely more CGI.
the Commandos were much more CGI, and it's definitely aged, but it
Yeah.
still looks.
Well, I mean, yeah, it definitely has, especially when you get more and more HD compared to like, I was watching this on VHS back in the day. But I felt like in overall, it still had like a little cartoony feel. I think that's like the good thing about Joe Dante was that he was a guy that was like probably up there with like Zemeckis and stuff of like able to blend the cartoon effects and special effects. Like, especially once he gets his own Looney Tunes movie like 5 years later, the Brendan Fraser one.
oh yeah.
Back in action.
You
Yeah.
know, it was all right. It was like maybe it's just my age showing, but when it was just like the toy chase parts, that's when I was like kind of zoning out a little bit and be like, this movie's a little long. Like the human interaction scenes, I thought
It's an
like I
hour.
was laughing out loud at a
It's an
few of
hour
them,
and 48 minutes.
you know. But I mean, just a little bit. I mean, I was watching it and be like, okay, you got it for me, but like Phil Hartman steals it every time he's there.
Well, Phil Hartman alone just has so many great lines in this movie.
Oh, amazing.
It's
Yeah,
like, we're talking about heat checks. Phil Hartman's the ultimate heat check in this movie. That's like probably what's harder than who like won the movie is like
Yeah.
who was the best heat check? Because like you just have so many guys just coming off like fucking Dick Miller also as like the truck driver being like, oh, like yeah, let's see what they are like
I love
corporation.
Dick Miller in this. Yeah, this movie is a great collection of just like those guys, and then
Scenes.
Yeah, character actor guys where it's like, oh shit, he's
yeah, it's
popping in
just
for
a
a second.
collection. And I think the one thing that kind of like hurts this, where if we're gonna compare this to Gremlins, what's the kid's name in the kid's name in Gremlins, the protagonist.
Oh, Zach or whatever.
Zach, whatever his name is. Yeah, it's definitely Zach, but
It's Billy Peltzer.
Billy,
I think
William
Zach was the
Peltzer.
name of the actor.
Bill,
Yeah.
yeah, Billy Pelter, like he had like just more like fleshed out to him here, where with like Gregory Smith's character, who has played Alan Abernathy, he's kind of like our protagonist here, that like in this movie, it's like we heard that he was a real nuisance at his last schools and
Yeah.
showed how
Troublemaker.
he was a real troublemaker, but he's cleaned up his act now and he's helping his dad run the toy store. And he did, he's like, oh, well, we don't sell violent toys, but these new hot ones are coming out. The Elite Commando line. Okay, I'm going to buy them while dad's out of town and we'll sell them. And that's what sets it into action. But it's a lot of like exposition being dumped onto us of
Well,
like,
also like there's something that like I
Mhm.
try to watch this without my nostalgia lenses on, which is hard for me with this movie. But like I was watching it this time and I was thinking, I was like, they say all that shit about Alan being like the badass and oh, you like set your school on fire or like oh, like you did graffiti and stuff like that. But you
my
don't see it whatsoever. Compared to like something like I don't know, Terminator 2, for example, where like you find out that John Connor's a bad kid and you find out he's a bad kid because he's stealing money from an ATM. They didn't have a scene like that for Alan or something like that of like him doing graffiti on a wall nearby or something.
And even just comparing it to like Gremlins, like Billy Pelter, like Perpetually Late, like you
Yeah.
learn all of his hardships in the first 10 minutes of that movie, and then we're introduced into the Gremlins and the movie takes off.
You see a ton of similarities. I mean, like you love when everything bursts out of the packaging of the
Oh yeah.
Gorgonites and the full thing. It looks almost identical to the like burst open eggs in terms of like scene placement and stuff. A
Mhm.
lot of the kills felt similar.
Mm.
The soldier going down the drain felt very similar to the gremlin and the juicer.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of similarities.
Because Dalian was asking at one point, he's like, is that the same kitchen from Gremlins?
Yeah, it looked close. similar jump scares where you walk into the room and the light doesn't work. That's like Gremlins to a T, you
Well,
know?
it makes me wonder if like this movie had like a different cut where like some people died because it's shocking not a single person dies. And granted, because I think it's because they're trying to go for like the mixed tone. Because apparently, it's originally supposed. Joe Dante said it was originally supposed to be like an edgy movie for teenagers, but then the corporate sponsorship tie-ins happened, aka Burger King, and then they wanted more of a kid-friendly thing, so the movie ended up being a mix of both. So,
G this up and do nothing well.
yeah, yeah. So like, you wonder if it was more the original like edgy teenager version. If like I don't know, Dick Miller feels like a character that should have died in this movie.
So yeah, he said, for example, the Abernathy house would explode, and like they shot it, and the studio did not want to show it on screen. And then Dante believes that the studio had hopes that Small Soldiers would have been the start of like a film series, which all makes sense where you have like the promotional time because especially when you think of that like late '90s era, like of mascot imagery like across all mediums for especially marketed towards kids. Like this is like a shoe-in when you look at like the designs of it. But I think where it ultimately like has its real deficiencies is in the stories. Like we were
Hmm.
saying, it's like a light version of Gremlins
Yeah.
Yes.
in
I
terms
mean,
of the story, and it just doesn't like I have to keep scrolling up to look at Alan Abernathy and Christy Fimple are two lead characters in this movie because I just don't remember their names.
yeah. I remember Alan because he had the thing like
Tommy, you've
rain
seen this
down.
movie 10 times, so like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
remembering
yeah.
these
It's a little different.
details is
But
not
I think that for
surprising.
while we're on the whole Alan and Kirsten Dunst again, I just noticed Kirsten Dunst in this movie. She is a really fun character in this movie. It's so funny that like Alan's like smitten by her because like she likes Led Zeppelin. Like, oh, you're not like other girls. It's like really that it's that much different.
Oh,
Yeah, I
when
like
Rush
this
was
small
playing.
band. Have you ever heard of them? They're called Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, exactly. And then Dine was like, "Oh shit, she's into prog rock. She likes
Well,
Rush."
let me tell you something, gentlemen. The Napster didn't happen till like the year after this, and unless you knew someone who introduced it to you, there are plenty of people who I went to high school with, who I wouldn't consider living under a rock or anything, who like were not fans at all, and like couldn't name a single song.
Hmm.
Like you,
Yeah, it just depends the house that you grew up in, right?
well,
Like,
not only that, no, 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 just the time. Like you either had to have heard it on the radio,
Mhm.
your parents had to have the record, you had to go out and borrow it from the library or buy it. It's the
yeah.
access wasn't even there. Like there was
Well,
no way to look up lyrics and stuff like that. Like 98, about this time, this was true. Like I remember my friends when Napster coming out being like, oh, REM, Last Morissette, and Metallica are not on the internet. Like you couldn't look up their lyrics,
Yeah.
you couldn't download anything. It was a weird time.
Well, the parallels do happen because I remember for like our generation, we were talking once about how like Prince wasn't as big for us because Prince for a while wasn't on like Apple or like Spotify or
I
anything
mean,
like that.
yeah, well, he wasn't on iTunes at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was one thing too. So like it was a lot harder for us to get involved with Prince.
Well, think about this. Imagine if that was every single band.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Like
true.
people,
Because like I always think about like I remember like when I was like earlier in my music career. This is a tangent on tangent, but like how when I was getting into music and stuff like that, how I'd buy so many CDs and like how like sometimes you didn't know if the CD was gonna be fucking great or not. And then you had like the whole thing of like, oh like, well, I don't know if I want to buy this because is this gonna be okay?
it
Like
was every time.
yeah. So
Was there any action set piece in the movie that stood out to either of you?
Oh, the dolls. I mean, like that whole scene was crazy.
the Gwendy dolls, yeah.
The
Yeah.
Wendy doll, where they use the fallen soldier's chip and they basically create a transmitter that brings these other dolls into like a mutated life force. Like all these Gwendy dolls that are, clearly Barbie dolls. And it was so creepy
Very.
like, and they were vicious, man. Like
Oh,
they were attack, attack, attack.
it was Christina Ricci and
Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy
yes.
herself. So, and you can definitely hear Sarah Michelle, and I love like all the little jokes are cracking
Great
right there
Valley
of like,
Girl from like hell kind of
yeah.
attitude.
When they're shouting out like, "Oh, it's the Baton Death March."
Yeah.
There were some clever jokes like peppered in like a lot throughout this.
Oh yeah, no, it has like the script, if you saw, like it had four screenwriters on it, which is usually the sign of like there was a script. Somebody came in to polish it up. Then somebody came to polish it up again, and then by the time you get to the fourth guy, they were on the set and somebody demanded a bunch of changes to it.
Yeah.
So the fourth guy gets thrown into there. And like you can definitely feel that with it. And I wonder if like with like Alan's character or like there's just something missing with the characters, like the human characters. Like none of them stood out in a way. And
They're more like sitcom archetypes in a way.
more like Saturday morning cartoon. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't even say sitcom archetypes. I would just say like really one note, one dimensional characters that just like the quips. Like we talked a lot about like all the character actors that showed up here, but like we have to force our two protagonists into the conversations, despite like Kristen Dunst giving she was 16 when this
She was great.
Yeah.
she was
She was my
great.
age.
Yeah, she was great when this in this one, but it's
She was a fun like the Gwendy scene was like stand out for Kristen where like she like really beats up everyone and she's immediately like smitten with Alan and she's like, let's go kill these fucking people.
No, she was great.
Yeah.
let's kill these.
But the entire movie in general, I mean, Tommy Lee Jones is supposed to sound like a computer program, and he certainly does. Like
Yeah,
it's very
But
formulaic.
I think he has like the like a great like you could have
military
almost seen like
voice.
Arlie Army in this role and it would have been cool too, but Tommy Jones adds a little bit more to it.
Yeah, but you still get that feel of like Buzz Lightyear or Woody when they're pretending not to be real and just saying their lines.
Yeah.
Like that comes through a lot when Tommy Lee Jones does it. And a lot of the human performances, I think, are like that too, where it's just, I agree with you, Tim, like just kind of like flat, like almost formulaic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like there's just nothing to these people. They are just kind of cardboard there to keep the story going, and the story is like dominated by the Commando Elite and the Gorgonites, like the dolls, and it's they don't give them any characters. It's just like Chip Hazard and the Commando Elite squad are all about just destroying the Gorgonites and anyone who's an ally of them. And Frank Langella spends half his time saying, "My name
I'm a
is
pussy.
Archer. I am the emissary of the Gorgonites."
I
And he gives a very gentle like performance for that
I
kind
remember as a kid it being cool and like the whole scene where they talk about wind and he's like, just feel your hand. And it's like, oh wait, you can't feel wind. It's just like something in the air. As a kid, I was like, oh, that is some
that is
philosophical shit.
deep and
That's
philosophical,
deep.
and then
I
you're just
didn't
like,
get that.
Yeah, no.
Missed me.
As an adult, I can't say that hit as well. But
Did you also get moved by the sand in Star Wars?
yeah, of course.
It's sand.
Oh,
There's sandy.
it's rough, it's coarse, and it's everywhere. I hate it. I hate it so much.
yeah.
One of
But
the
no, there's something that like I think that like for me as a kid, it was more so like I knew all the toys so much that like I had a Slam Fist. I had like all the other guys. Like I don't have Akio, that's what I didn't have, but I had like Punch It and stuff like that. Where it was
Even
like,
that,
oh,
even the one that was just the eyeball, your mom was like, "All right, Tommy, we're not doing this one." Absolutely.
I don't think they made a toy for the eyeball. I forget.
Tim,
Akio.
They
were you
definitely
a
made a
action
definitely
figure
made a
guy?
choice for the entire line, Tommy. They might have not been on shelves long enough after the movie doesn't do as well as expected,
I
but of
remember seeing like toys for this movie like in like 99 or 2000 still.
Tim, were you an action figure guy?
course. Well, I was like a Star Wars action figure guy.
Got it. Yeah.
Me, it was like Rescue Heroes, Small Soldiers, Toy Story. I had Toy Story
I
characters
had Toy
too.
Story too, but
And
like
I had Dragon Ball Z characters too, I remember.
I
Nice.
didn't
Dragon
I
Ball Z
didn't
is
really
great.
I didn't really have Dragon Ball Z figures. I remember we had a green bin with all the Star Wars crap in it.
Nice.
Mm.
I was
When I was
not an
really young.
action figure guy.
I was a Thomas the Tank Engine kid. We had a
Got it.
Yeah.
we had a whole bunch of those. But
Yeah.
I liked them, but I was never like, I was a rip them out of the packages and actually play with them and
Oh, I'd play with them a lot, I
not a
remember.
collector. Like keeping them in a box and letting them collect dust, you know?
My buddy still has the Kenner
I
Star
say that I
Wars
have like
in
a
box.
Texas chainsaw thing in the background.
That's
Action figure.
that's a nice retirement plan right there. You just keep
Yeah,
that.
he's my magic buddy. He's also got a Black Lotus. He's a collector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we have to shout out at the beginning of the episode we pulled up. That's probably the greatest clip, and we're going to use that GIF a lot now in my life because I didn't notice it before. But the Kirsten Dunst saying, "All right, Timmy," I'm going to use that so much. It's going to be like a permanent soundbite over and over again.
Timmy. Right, Timmy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why Tommy was like just keep like sent that in the middle of the movie.
yeah. I've seen this movie a lot, and I never even picked up. I've watched this movie since we started the podcast, like multiple times. And then like Dowling came over and we pointed that out. I was like, "Holy shit, rewind that real quick." It's like we have to go back. We have to go back to the source.
I was like, here's your entrance.
Yeah, I think there's two times we rewinded in the movie. One was for that. The second time was the Phil Hartman saying, "I think World War II is my favorite war."
Yes, and that
Amazing line.
Yeah, because it was just something about Phil Hartman. He's just like played like I know we talked about the character being one note, but Phil Hartman played that type of like swarmy neighbor character so much because he did that in what Jingle All the Way also, which that was also a character of it. But him in this movie, he's just like firing like 100 at all points. Where he's talking about his TV setup, and at the end, he's like, "Hey, is that my speaker system?" And when he calls them the Gorgonzolas.
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, all the SNL folk, they always were like, Phil was the glue that held everything together.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. He just comes into every scene and makes it better.
Well, this was his last movie because like he literally the whole thing with his wife killing him like happened like not long after this movie. I think before the movie even came out. 'Cause
it
the movie
did. It
has
was
like
this came out in July, and that happened in May,
yeah.
and the film was ended up being dedicated to Phil, obviously, because
Yeah, they had like a blooper of him at the end of the movie. But it's one of those things you think of this movie and like, God, like what could have we fucking had if Phil Hartman was still in movies? Because he probably would have popped up in so many like
he
random
would have been
like remember like Mystery Men? He would have popped up in Mystery Men, I'm sure.
he would have been a glue guy in so many movies, just like
Yeah. Like imagine him in the Apatow Renaissance when he probably would have popped up in something.
oh,
Well,
he easily.
Yeah.
I miss him possibly continuing to do The Simpsons, like Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure, two of the like legends
Mm.
from the golden age of The Simpsons. And Phil was always so good on
Well,
it.
yeah, there's definitely
You could
something to be
argue
had.
you could argue the end of the golden age of The Simpsons coincides directly with losing Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz.
Very similar, right
Yeah.
around then.
Yeah.
I think if this is as good of a time as any to go to.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
All right, star of the show. Who gave the best performance in your estimation here? Tommy, let's kick it off to you, our resident.
All right, so I think of the human characters, Phil Hartman, like we just touched upon, or again, amazing comedic performance, just like so many great one-liners, and he's just like such a great like swarmy presence. But I'm gonna have to go with Tommy Lee Jones. I think that Tommy Lee Jones is just hilarious as Chip Hazard, and just like how jingoistic he gets, and like how he's just parodying every single war movie, and like how we're talking about like the I smell the Purell thing in the morning and stuff. I love the smell of that, and how he's like talking about like there'll be no mercy, and all of a sudden like the iconic like Rita Commando Elite. Anything else? Just a toy. Followed by the Spice Girls. Amazing right there. So it's just like Tommy Lee Jones throughout is just throwing like so many fucking like great moments. So yeah, Tommy Lee.
Dowling for you.
I want to give it to Phil Hartman, but is that enough screen time? It's tough
more
to
than
say.
it's more than the guy I'm going to give.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you had great scenes from Leary. You had amazing scenes from Hartman. I'm literally between Hartman and Kirsten Dunst. I thought she gave a really, really solid performance. And if you want to go for like acting, I would say Dunst. My favorite in the movie was Hartman. Like he ate up every second of the screen, like time he was on for. Like when he shows up with the neighborhood dispute, cutting down the tree, like perfect. Perfect. I thought it was a great performance.
He is he the greatest annoying neighbor
Yes.
of all time?
Oh yeah. Because like
Like
there's something about Jingle All the Way, which is like also like a worse movie than this, I'd say. But Jingle All the Way is hilarious because of Phil Hartman.
you're not biased by any means.
No, but I mean, they're like so similar like '90s movies. But Phil Hartman, in that movie, it just like elevates it so much of just like because that movie also makes Phil Hartman cucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is just an amazing concept.
What to do?
Yeah.
This is I also forgot, but this is also in like the toy boom of the late, not like the Tickle Me era, Elmo era of
Oh
toys
yeah,
coming out too, where it's like
Tamagotchis.
where
All
it's now translated into Pokemon cards where people kill each other and pee their pants in line. Yes, that actually did happen. Someone peed their pants in line
Yep,
waiting
it's
to buy
gross.
Pokemon cards. Disgusting. But
Yeah,
Sometimes you gotta commit. You got luck.
they have professional line
no,
waiters
no,
now.
you don't. No, I know Tommy was joking, but if some people seem to take things very literally today, you do not need to do that. I
Yeah, don't actually listen.
just ask the guy in front of you to be like, and behind you to be like, hey, I've been holding my pee for 2 hours here. Do you mind? And they'll probably just say, yeah, it's better than you peeing your pants. And then if you even get to the case of being like, if you don't say yes, I will
I'll peel
relieve,
over you.
I will relieve myself right next to you in my pants, and then they'll go, okay, dude, just go, please.
Yeah, there's probably a third option there.
There's definitely an option in there that does not involve that, but it's like as you were saying,
The
like
most candid
toy
episode.
boom, like when we're talking about like Universal and DreamWorks thinking like, oh, we have an IP on our hands here, like this is can become a franchise. Like
Well,
we could do the ride at Universal,
Well,
blah blah
you
blah.
could have
Like,
easily seen them do like the Small Soldiers animated TV show where it's actually like
um,
the whole TV series angle is they're not toys, it's actually like real commandos versus real
yeah,
Gorgonites. That's the cartoon
yeah,
show or something like
it's the
that.
real Gorgonites versus the real
and you're at a serious transitional period. Like, you know, they probably leaned in, if I remember correctly, they leaned in super hard to the like action figures. And
mhm.
this is like 98. This is when the internet's starting to cook.
Mm.
Like in 3 years, everyone's playing video games. Like every single guy I knew on the college football team was playing Madden. But like 3 years before this movie, not everyone was into video games. They were a very niche thing.
Mm.
It didn't start to explode until the
Well, you
internet.
wonder if this movie came out like 5 years before would have been like more successful.
I
I think hugely.
I think so too.
Mm.
I think it missed its window and it was like a mistiming of things because like story aside, like which we all seem to have like our problems with and stuff, like it's still a good time. It's a fun watch. Like
Yeah.
all the action sequences itself, like the chase sequence on the Vespa is really fun, and it's just
Yeah.
all these clever ways of the toys
And
using
fun soundtrack
household.
moments.
Yeah, really fun. Like the war drop is great.
Yeah, that's
It
hilarious.
was great.
Like all these and like the toys using all these household items to go around and cause chaos and stuff is like really fun, and it's a small scale battle, and it's something
Mm.
that should have just been a bigger success. And
Yeah.
it's just especially with like the marketing pumped into this, because the fact that you and I were 4 and 5 collectively when this movie came out, we had 9 years of life experience between the two of us, and we can both vividly remember the marketing push for this movie
Yeah.
should say something about like how heavily they were marketing it.
There is a certain nostalgia for this movie. I mean, part of the reason we're covering this is because I made some stupid tweet about this movie that went super fucking viral,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it got like shared on other places where people are like, "Oh my God, I remember that movie. That movie was the shit. Holy fuck, I got to rewatch Small Soldiers. It was great." So there's a certain like age group. Dallin, you're a little bit older than us,
Yeah,
so you definitely missed it. But for like,
totally.
I feel like
If
around our
you're a
age group,
5 to 10 year old boy, this movie was made for you.
yeah, then you're like, "This movie rocks." Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If
And
you're a high school sophomore, you're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
yeah, and like I think that's where it all like the tonal like where it's like make an edgy movie for teenagers. Okay, but like
They
this movie's
missed.
coming out like before there's really like this big collecting scene of like all these action figures and stuff, and like there's that more of like an adult interest in it where it's like still primarily viewed as something you just give to kids and they play with it, it collects dust for a couple of years and you donate it to Goodwill, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
that's
mean,
what toys were for forever. And and like if it's released in that like Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like late 80s, early 90s era, like you have that movie and then the animated show and then the toy lines and you just continue it and then maybe you get a sequel, like it would have fit into that era better than the era it
Yeah.
actually came in.
100%.
Yeah. Also, one thing I want to touch upon with Tommy Lee Jones we didn't mention. It's crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong. This seems like it's the only time he's ever done a voiceover role in a movie. And that sounds wrong, but like I just quickly looked up his credits while we were talking. I was going through it and I was like, you would have expected Tommy Lee Jones to have like kind of like a Danny DeVito type run in like the 90s and like 2000s where he probably would have popped up in a few Disney movies,
I
give his Gravely voice or something like that
He
in.
I
didn't
would
need
have
to.
thought like I would have thought in some like Illumination garbage or like
Yeah, yeah, you can see him in
one of
that
those
or like
movies
He
where
was
it's just
still
like
doing big
there's
film.
30 credited actors and like you're just like this is a 90-minute movie and there's
yeah, then Tommy Lee Jones is in there.
yeah, like Tommy Lee Jones is in there, says his three lines, makes a
Well,
half
Jim
million,
Brown's in
calls it
there.
a
Because
day.
you can see Tommy Lee Jones definitely being that lazy type of fuck that would love voiceover work. Because he's like, oh, you mean I just
I,
get to go pull
I,
up in my like sweatpants and like
I
record a couple lines?
that's a misinterpretation of Tommy Lee Jones. To his credit, like he seems very grouchy, but I don't think lazy is a word I would use to describe him because all of his performances that I've seen him in are excellent. Like he's always a
Yeah,
standout in his movies.
And he was nailing it in the 90s. You had The Fugitive, you had Blown Away,
Oscar winner.
you had tons.
But what's funny because
Men
like
in
he
Black,
had like a campy
Men in
turn.
Black's the same year, right?
Year before I think,
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
around the same time.
Right around the same time. But my heat check is Dennis Leary. I've just or my star of the show, whatever you want to call it. I know he's in the movie for a cumulative 2.5 minutes, but he was my favorite character.
Because he was literally just riffing and he was hilarious. He was
He
just
was
He was
perfect.
hilarious, and he just played that slimy business guy, like
That was
evil
perfect.
business guy, so perfectly.
I was like, I'll vote for him.
yeah, yeah. Billy John was saying that. He's like, when this guy run?
America.
Where I think like the one-dimensional side of all of these characters, like I enjoyed Phil Hartman, right? But like I was spent enough time with his character where I just wanted like a little bit more,
Yeah.
like everybody else, and I didn't get it. And it's not a fault of their performances, more on like the writing and the way the film ended up together that we just all we learned about Phil Hartman is that he's probably a really annoying neighbor to have.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly. You feel like if like they added maybe what like 10 more minutes of runtime, probably would have
could have
helped a
got
little bit.
fleshed out these characters a little bit more and like maybe put a little bit more of like a story or just like something that personal that these characters need to like overcome like they should have made the kid a coward and then he overcomes it by climbing the light pole.
Yeah, yeah. Like what's the kid's character arc in this movie?
Yeah, or don't give him this like he's a troublemaker with a heart of gold. It's
Because
weird.
the troublemaker aspect does not come into
Yeah,
play.
it takes much longer to develop that to be like
We
bad
just
kid reformed. You can't just see it off,
you
you
can't be told that like he was just like a good kid. He-
yeah, he seemed like a great kid.
Yeah, that like
You'd love to have him in your class.
I'd take a room full of them.
Yeah.
That's the famous teacher joke that like you know how you get your inside jokes that you just say forever and ever.
Mm.
Anytime anyone's saying like, "Oh, so and so didn't hand this in," or anything remotely complaining about a kid, the instant line you have to do is you look right over and you go, "Oh, he's never a problem in my class," or like something to that effect. It's great. It feels real good. Be like, "Oh, him? I love him."
Tub of blue cheese indeed.
Yes, yes.
oh yeah, yeah, totally.
Are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
Would Small Soldiers lend itself to a Muppet adaptation?
I feel like you could have had a little bit of Muppet energy to it. Like maybe it's like the Muppets are the ones getting hunted down instead of the Gorgonites.
I don't it's weird because you would think it would lend itself to the Muppets, but I don't think so. I think it's like
I think zero chance. This
I
is
think
the only one you picked where I'm like, nah, you can't introduce other toys.
you're already putting one toy in there
Exactly.
and then you put another
I mean, there's already puppets in this movie,
Exactly.
essentially.
It's too
so
much.
another
But
three in there.
but that being said, I would love to see Joe Dante if he ever directed a Muppets adaptation. That would have been great. because he did Looney Tunes. He did a good job with Looney Tunes, and it felt like he definitely was like within like the Chuck Jones school.
I don't think there's any way you can make it work. Like there's just too much. It's like you're gonna put chips in the puppets and it's too many. Nah, it won't work.
Yeah, the Muppets come to life, even though like the whole thing is that they interact with humans anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I honestly think this is the only slam dunk no of all the ones of your shows I've listened to. All the other ones you could be like, well, what if it was just there's a little
Yeah, what
wiggle
if
room?
Sharon Stone was Miss Piggy instead? It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Look at those crochet
What
lines.
if Barry Lyndon was Kermit the Frog?
Right.
What if Eyes Wide Shut was Muppets? Yeah, I mean, this one is for. I think you're correct in the you hear the premise of this and you go, of course the Muppets would be a sh like, why wouldn't that work? But like you put any ounce of critical thought into it, you go, it's a hard no. Versus like an Eyes Wide Shut, which is like a serious drama about a sex ring.
Sex cult.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's not Muppet territory, but you know that
No.
goes. All right, review time. Score out of 5. Tommy, let's start with you. I'm very curious.
Okay, so I'm gonna give two reviews. One real quick is my nostalgia review with my nostalgia goggles on. 4.5 out of 5. This movie rocks. Love this movie. Love all the characters. Love everything about it. Can't complain. But taking off the nostalgia glasses for a second, this movie's still a lot of fun. I think the soundtrack drops are really fun, even though some of them are a little bit on the nose. But you wish the characters were developed a little bit more, especially Alan. Like he's kind of a nothing of a character. And even if they gave like some more moments to Gorgonites and commandos and stuff like that, but overall it's still great performances even if they're one note. I'm gonna go 3.5 out of 5 for my non-nostalgia answer.
4 to 5 is your answer.
Yeah, so overall you blend them in together. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Dowling, how about you?
You know, there's some good in this movie. There's some great scenes, like you were saying. I laughed out loud a couple times. I thought Kirsten Dunst was great. I thought the other mentioned performances were great. But a lot of the scenes where it's like, oh look, soldiers are chasing the bike or the car, like it didn't really, having never seen that before, it didn't really blow my hair back. So a lot of the like quote unquote action scenes, I got a little bored during. But there's some decent parts to it, but all in all, is it one where I'm probably ever gonna watch again? Probably not. I thought it was good. I'd probably give it like a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm in between 2.5 and 3. I think I'm gonna lean 3 on it. I think it's just like the difference between a 2.5 and a 3 for me is like I had a good time watching it. I had fun. Like
Yeah,
I thought it was
I had
creative.
fun.
Like in the points where you're saying like where you rolled your eyes, I was like, oh, that's creative. That's cute. Like they're using like this battery and the chainsaw, and then using like the dust bust. Like they're using all these little cool
Yeah,
things, and just like it's creative like prop work that like kind of sold me into it. It's funny. It doesn't really have heart, which I think is where the movie's probably like lacking the most. Like if this movie had more heart to it, I think it would have resonated more and maybe
yeah,
really landed its successful roles where I think of something like Gremlins has a lot of heart to it.
I
Uh,
agree.
like where that just that
The,
the
the the main crux of the heart is just the end scene of them going to Gorgon sailing away.
yeah, and
Like it's a Titanic parody in the other movie.
you have like 7 Gorgonites and like you only spend time with Archer, like you spend very little time with the rest of them.
Yeah, it's, it without the nostalgia backing it up, it was just, it was a movie. A couple good scenes.
It's fun.
I think a lot to be desired.
It's a good hangout movie. It's a good
Yeah.
movie to talk over, drink a couple beers, maybe a good Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon on the couch kind of movie. You
Yeah,
don't
I'm wondering if my youngest would like it.
probably
She,
have fun with it. Like it would be
yeah,
if you like an action
probably.
movie, it's fun and it's in a different environment and different
Yeah.
rules
Yeah,
being.
it's like if will I ever watch this alone again in my life? Definitely not. So that was like the tiebreaker between 2.5 and 3 for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
Like,
there are fun threes.
do I regret it? No, but like it, you know,
It's a fun three. It's a fun the fun factor brings it to a three for a script that's maybe a 1.5 or a two.
Yeah.
Like
I hear that.
it's a very standard 90s script.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
by the numbers. But good time, 3 out of 5, 2.5, and a 4. So we recommend it mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly
Check it out.
mostly recommend. Check it out if you haven't seen it.
A
Unfortunately,
soft try it.
when it inevitably ends up on Netflix and kind of like I feel like this movie is dying to like show up on the Netflix homepage and then people will be like, "This is fun."
It's gonna be the copycat of its time.
Yes, yeah. But Dowling, thank you so much for joining us as always. We love having
Pleasure.
great conversations as always. Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, well, thank you guys so much for listening. You can find us on social media. That's at Scene It Pod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're also on the Threads. We're also on Blue Sky. That's podscene.bluesky.social. And leave us a 5-star review. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Helps us out. Helps us grow the show. And Tim, we have what? One more left for August, or
Yeah.
so
So
we'll,
we'll
we'll
just
forget.
tell you what that is and then record it and then you'll find out.
Yeah. So, but September, we can tease September a little bit. We're doing After Hours. We're doing Dog Day Afternoon. We're doing There Will Be Blood. So,
Gonna
September's
be,
gonna be a heater.
and if we can find a screening of One Battle After Another, we will be covering that.
Yeah. So, get
You
ready
got
for September, and we're gonna have one more episode for the end of the month too. So, stay tuned.
Well, thank you all so much for listening today. We will see you next time.